Alex here with a video on suing for principal. I think the first time I saw something like this was on court TV. I can't remember which one. I was going to say Judge Judy, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I think it was maybe on the People's Court or something. At least two or three times I've seen it come up where there's frustration in the courtroom and the litigant explains that it's the principle of the matter. I'm not sure that this is such a terrible idea, suing for principle. I wasn't to say I can understand where it's coming from, but I'm not sure that I do. Or if I do, it's not a good thing. Like it's coming from a person who wants to be vindicated, but at the expense of a system that is really not equipped to do that. And I mean, it's like I'm just trying to get my head around. I guess like if you have no experience whatsoever with the court system, I can see where a person would think that this is a good idea, and they would think that it's like this system of fairness and right and wrong, and they're gonna get this judge to say that their opponent did something they shouldn't have done, and then what? Then what? Like you feel better about yourself, they feel worse. I highly doubt that they're gonna feel worse. The type of people that go into court that are really unable to come to an agreement are either justified in not coming to an agreement and they win their case, or they're not justified and I don't know, maybe they just didn't get a good outcome, or they just don't even care. So many people, I've seen so many people, especially in family court, who lose their cases and do not care. They do not change. They just blame biases and other problems on why the outcome came out the way that it did. I mean, you could even see the exit interviews on those court TV shows. There's a whole lot of exit interviews, and those are with like the public watching. Like imagine if nobody's watching. Those people very often will just continue to say the same things they were saying when they went in and litigated. So the court system, it's not really there to be this system that just like I don't even have the words to describe it. It's so depressing in a way. It's there to resolve disputes in a very inefficient, random, unreliable, unpredictable way. Attorneys get paid a whole lot of money to try and minimize those issues, to make it as predictable as possible, to mitigate the randomness, and even they can't get it down to zero. I mean, you could still get wonky outcomes, and that's just, we're just talking about like the end, like the decision at the end. We're not even talking about all of the money that gets spent, all of the time that gets spent driving to the courthouse, sitting in there for a hearing, all that stuff. The anxiety, the loss of sleep. I'm not saying that people shouldn't use the court system. To the contrary, I think that people should use the court system, but I just don't think that people should do it out of principle. I think people should do it for a real world solution that's going to impact their lives. For example, child custody. Yeah, it would be nice if you can work things out with your ex. A lot of people can't, and they need a court to order their ex to do something. I mean, I guess there's a small part of that that's out of principle, but mainly you want your child to live with you. Mainly you want to alter the child support or alimony award. Mainly you want to divvy up the property fairly because you're going to use that car. You're going to live in that house. You're using the court system to actually affect your life or somebody else's life. It's not out of principle. I don't know what else I really have to say about this. If anybody, I guess, went through this and they wanted to use the court system out of principle, and then they went through, I don't want to use the word meat grinder. Let's let's say the conveyor belts, because I mean it's a machine. I talk about this in one of my videos. I think it's called The Machine. It's been a long time since I referenced it. That's really what it is. You're playing around with this machine. It has all these buttons and levers that you're going to tinker with for a long time and hope that whatever it is you put in comes out. Because a lot of times it comes out all tattered and messed up. You you lose and get nothing. I'm sorry, guys. The idea of suing for principle is so laughable that I can't contain myself. And it's just because I've gone through the system not only for 8 years representing myself, but now I cover it with a camera. Please don't do this. If you ever talk to somebody who's going to sue out of principle, change their mind. And if their mind doesn't change, they might just be that type of person that just is a glutton for punishment. I really do think that there are a lot of people that are in the legal system that are doing the best they can, especially in the criminal area. I really do think that just because there are a lot of people doing that doesn't mean that most of them are. I would say probably more than half. That's what I mean by most. I don't mean that 90%. I mean more than half are probably just there because it's a business and they're there to make money. That's what you do when you create a firm. It's a business. It's for profit. Most of them are, and justice and fairness and equality. That's all. It's not out the window, but it's not top priority. That's second, third, fourth, fifth priority. So yeah, this is a video that I think will probably be helpful for some people. Maybe they'll also be shaking their heads and laughing at the idea, but it's an important part of our democratic society. It really is. It just shouldn't be used out of principle. So if you use it because you have a plan, you have calculated what it's going to cost you, you have calculated what you could win, you have calculated the possibility of winning, and you have calculated the possibility of actually executing on or enforcing the outcome. That last little piece is very important because there are a lot of people who have been screwed over by a broke person. There are a lot of people. In fact, if you don't have insurance on your car, if you only have liability and somebody just wrecks your car, I would flip a coin. Half, on the other side of it, if they're uninsured and they don't have any money, yeah, it is not fair that your car got smashed up and here's your $10,000 judgment that you'll get a nickel of in about 3 years. Like, it happens to people. So I guess I could talk about that some other day. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to post them down in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.